before that. The Listowel Printing Works Handicap, we mentioned this way back when at the beginning of the show. 1 mile 4 is the trip. Seo back on the flat. 2-1 was second in the Apprentice Derby earlier this season. A rating of 78 on the level. Wayne Lorden riding for Willie Mullins. Baron Samedi, who has just been on a steep upward trajectory, and the mark now reflects that 4-1. Halimi, Irish Champions weekend winner, 11-2. Persia is 11-2. Bashir at 13-2. 12-1 Great Bear. 16's about legal spin. Melburnian 20s, and it's 40-1 and bigger the others. Plenty of different angles to come at this, Ruby. Where would you like to start?
I think we'll start with the delay, Nick. You may or may not be able to hear the thunder clapping off in the background here. We have had quite a bit of thunder and some lightning here in the last 15 minutes or so. So as we speak, the head-on and rear-view camera heights are being lowered. I do believe there's a chance that this race may be started from a flag start, as well as there seems to be some health and safety element of using starting stalls when lightning is around. Metal, I suppose, it does make sense, but the runners and riders are still in the parade ring. Some bell is just gone, 2.5 minutes to post time. There you see Melburnian and Great Bear, Chris Hayes in the green and yellow colours of Great Bear, and Melburnian's colours. I just went through the shot, the mount of Niall McCullough. I think both riders were in the showroom momentarily. I'm sure to inform them that they will be starting this race by flag rather from starting stalls. As Melburnian exits the parade ring, that's Tony Martin just behind Melburnian, a mare who won what used to be the November handicap, but I now believe is the October handicap in Leopardstown last season, when she beat the top weight Halimi. There's legal spin in your shot. The mount of Andy Slattery, one of 2 runners for Willie Mullins, was to be drawn in stall 1, but that doesn't matter anymore. Guinevere for Ray Cody, just leaving the parade ring. There's Ray leading Guinevere up. The mount of Sean Davis has an outside chance, has been running well over hurdles during the summer. There, of course, is Baron Samedi bidding for a 4-timer on the Dylan Brown McMonigal, having won his last 3. Persia ran well in the Patingo handicap at Leopardstown under Shamie Heffernan. There's your favourite Seo. Hasn't run on the flat since the Apprentice Derby when it was second to Tonkinese, as the lightning flashes through the sky here again in the stall. It's been a day of all seasons here, really. JP McManus colours of Western Boy ran well in handicap Portland Clonmel in his last start. There's Great Bear, can run a bit keen, likes to race towards the pace. Tom Gibney trains, was formerly with Roger Charlton. Baron Samedi, he's gone all the way from a rating of 65 to where he is right now, 97, having won 3 starts, Cork and August Down Royal, and the last time out in Navan. Persia definitely has a chance. Jamie Heffernan, this horse was a long way back in a slow run Patingo handicap at the Dublin, or the Champions Weekend, I was going to call it the Dublin Racing Festival, but of course that's on in February. There's Halimi, who won the Patingo handicap under Kevin Manning that Saturday in Leopardstown. The mount of Liam McAteer today, claiming 7, having a great season. But I imagine with a flag start we shouldn't be overly delayed. 16 is Baltic Song, the mount of Nathan Cross, formerly with John Gosden, has made little impression in 3 starts for Luke Comer, and I'd say has to improve greatly on what we've seen Baltic Song doing to have a chance here. As I said already, Persia came from well back in the Patingo handicap to run a lot better than his finishing position would suggest. You can see the stalls are parted at the bottom of the home straight here in Listowel. I'm under the impression we're going to have a flag start. Maybe we're not. It's 50-50 hanging in the balance here. Clark of the course, Vala Collins is telling me. Decision will be made when the riders are at the start as to whether the stalls will be used or not. As the thunder continues and the lightning, well, we haven't had one in 5 or 6 minutes, but I don't know what that means. I'm not a meteorologist. There is one of the 2 Luke Comer runners. I'm not sure if it's Formula 1 or Baltic Song. I can't tell from this angle. I can't see the number. I don't know which one is wearing the second cap. Didn't hear that announcement. I actually don't think that announcement was made. There in the white cap looks to be Franco de Silva. I would say the one on the left is Formula 1, the one on the right is Baltic Song. Myself, Seo, I think has a good chance here, Nick. He ran well in the Apprentice Derby. He had a good win over hurdles on his last start, should handle the ground. Wayne Lorden rides him. He's pretty skimpy in the betting, but 8 stone 6 is a lovely weight to have.
Who cashed in, went seriously well in last time and has retrospectively shot up the handicap, and deservedly so. Since gelding, that horse has only been going one way, and that's much higher in the handicap. Halimi, he's got Luke McAteer claiming the 7 off today for Jim Bolger after that win at Leopardstown on day 1 of Irish Champions Weekend. Persia, of course, coming out of that race as well for Aidan O'Brien and Shamie Heffernan. Dermot Weld looking for another on the day. Mikey Shee taking the 7 off Bashir. But Seo obviously rated in the mid-140s over jumps as a hurdler, and as a chaser he wouldn't necessarily be a chaser. I'm sure he'll be over hurdles come the winter time. But it is an interesting rating indeed from the level. Where we are now, Ruby, you said it was about 50-50, but the stalls look pretty well positioned for starting out of them.
They do. Looks like they're closing up the gates to load them up and get them going, Nick, which will mean what will it take to load up these 15 runners? Probably take the guts of 3 minutes, so we will be a little over time. The gates are ready and loading should start. Yeah, he's starting right now. Formula 1 goes forward. Legal Spin is following him. Guinevere on the outside. Bashir, as you said there a minute ago, Nick, look, Mikey Sheehy takes over on Bashir, who chased Effenock Fizz home at Bellewstown in August and ran okay behind Sonny Boy Liston at the Curragh, who's a runaway in the last race of Champions Weekend at the Curragh. Mikey Sheehy back from a break for a COVID test. He's a valuable £7 claimer. It'll be interesting to see if Baron Samedi can defy this penalty. Won his last start in Navan off a mark of 79, up to 97 today. It's a big jump, £18, but he's a horse going in one rapid direction, as you've already said. 11 is Great Bear. Tom Gideon, Chris Hayes was third to Zenon in Killarney in his last start. Likes the race close enough to the pace. I'd imagine Legal Spin and Stall 1 will go forward as well. Seo, not the quickest horse in the world, stays well. I'm sure Wayne Lord won't want to be too far away in him if he can. Melburnian, Tony Martin's mare, usually comes from off the pace. Western Boy, as I said, ran okay over hurls in his last start. We'll have to improve on the flat a little bit. And Guinevere, Halimi, Luke McAteer, who I called Liam a few moments ago. Sorry about that, Luke. Has to have his chance. Halimi likes to race close to the pace as well. It's an open enough contest, and I'd imagine some of these will be heading for the Irish Zazarovich after here today in a fortnight's time. There's only 2 left to go. Baron Samedi and Persia. Installed 7 is last to go in. I thought they loaded 13597, 1357 myself, but 7 seems to be last in here. They're ready to go over to Jerry Hannon as the thunder cracks again.
Leading the line. Loaded for the day's feature. Off over 1.5 miles in the Listowel Printing Works Handicap. Heading for the stands first time, the grey Seo with Persia. Great Bear is racing up to them, being followed by Baltic Song. Halimi is followed by Legal Spin. Baden Samedi next with Bashir as they come up to pass the winning post. A circuit in front of them, matching strides. Persia and Great Bear, a length in front of Halimi, Seo, Baltic Song, and then Baden Samedi in mid-division, gunning for the 4-timer. On the outside, going into the bend, is Bashir, and they're followed by Guinevere and Melburnian. Formula 1 in distinguishing white cap is a couple of lengths in front of Legal Spin and Western Boy. Reaching their final mile and a furlong, and it's Great Bear going on 1.5 lengths in front of Persia, tracked by Halimi, and then comes Baltic Song and Seo, Baden Samedi, and improving on the outside is Formula 1. As they continue right over on the far side of the track. Off out behind O'Leary's they go. Great Bear followed by Persia, Halimi, Formula 1, Seo, and then Baltic Song and Baden Samedi. Bashir next with Guinevere and Melburnian, 2 lengths back to Legal Spin. And at the rear is Western Boy. Heading for the halfway stage, the 6 furlong point, and the Listowel Printing Works Handicap. It's Great Bear, Chris Hayes, tracked by Persia and Shamie Heffernan. Then comes Formula 1, who's third on the outside of Halimi. And after them is Seo, as they Race on just outside the concluding 5, and it's Great Bear, Persia, Formula 1, Halimi is 4th, and then Seo and Bashir and Bad and Samedi. On the inside is Baltic Song, and then comes Melburnian. Driven is Guinevere, gets a reminder, and then Western Boy and Legal Spin, tightly enough grouped with 3.5 furlongs to go. Great Bear rejoined by Pushed Along Persia. Formula 1 is on the outside, and just behind them is Halimi with Bad and Samedi and Seo. And there's a followed there. Seo's gone on the bend, brings down Guinevere as they turn into the straight. Great Bear followed by Halimi, and then Persia, Bashir, Bad and Samedi. Couple of lengths back then to Formula 1 as they begin the run to the final furlong and a half. Great Bear with trying to challenge one from the rail in the blue jacket is Halimi. Persia, Bashir down the outside is Bad and Samedi, and Melburnian is getting into it. Racing inside the final furlong in the Listowel Printing Works Handicap, and it's Bashir, Halimi, Bad and Samedi on the near side. Bad and Samedi for 4 in a row. Gets up from Bashir, Halimi and Melburnian.
Well, Baron Samedi has made it 4 in a row for Joseph O'Brien and Dylan Brown McMonagle, getting up to beat Bashir close home in what can only be described as a bit of a rough contest, or a very rough contest. Already the grey Seo has gone to the floor and brought down Guinevere before they turned in, but here it gets interesting. Looks like Melburnian is going to get a run between Persia and Halimi, but Bashir, without a head on, I can't say if he's just run around a little bit of an elbow or he's run across the track. I would need to see the head on to tell you what happened there. And Baron Samedi swoops down the outside on the Dylan Brown McMonagle to win a snake closely by 3 parts of a length from Bashir in second. Here is the head on, but they're only coming into shot now, so you can see there is a bend there. It's not really a home straight in Listowel. If you look back down the track there, you can see what I mean. So I don't know, was Mikey Sheehy and Dylan Brown McMonagle taking the turn, or were the others coming running off the bend, or were they running around the bend? I don't know. I'd need to see that a bit better than what we've just seen there. The rear view might give us a better shot at that, but Melburnian definitely looked to run into interference on the Niall McCullough. Here we'll see again Bashir in the green, Baron Samedi outside him, Mikey Sheehy round the bend, Halimi, Melburnian. I would have to say now, I'm going to guess that Bashir runs back across. He does, runs right back across and cuts the snot off Melburnian. Baron Samedi follows him but doesn't cause any interference. Melburnian has to switch. What the stewards will do, only time will tell, but I'm sure they have plenty to look at. I'd love to know what happened to Seo across the bottom as well. That looked like a horrible fall for Wayne Lorden. I know the horses are up. I hope Wayne Lorden gets up.
2 1/4 lengths, half a length, 6 lengths and half a length. Time to race 2 minutes 46.10 seconds. That's 2 minutes 46.10 seconds.
Horses are up. Wayne Lorden is still down. Well,
I did have back the winner of our feature race today, Baron Samedi, trained by Joseph O'Brien, ridden by Dylan Brown McMonagle. And this is a lovely record to have 4 wins in a row.